Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited. It's your boy, Bryan Karp, aka Mailbox Money, and we're sitting here at the Future Gen REI studio, and we're on the Brick to Brick podcast, and I have a treat for you guys. Every time I'm on CoStar, every time I'm on LoopNet, anywhere I'm on the internet looking for multifamily property in Tennessee, I see Pat Cosgrove. And I'm tired of chasing every one of his listings, so I'm bringing you guys straight from Tennessee, my boy, your boy, Pat from Marcus Millichap. How are you, pal?
I'm good. That was a good welcome.
You like that, right? Yeah. Every time I'm fantastic. Every time you walk in a room, would you want to have me leading you into the room?
I would. That would be awesome. I would feel good. Like I have the boombox on my shoulder.
Every time you go for a seller meeting, it'd be nice to have me come in, hike them up so they know who you are.
Exactly. Introduce me. Yes. I'm good.
It's awesome. I like to start off. How did you get into real estate? And then how did you go into multifamily real estate? Because I feel like everyone, residential real estate is hot, sexy, $1 million listing. But how did you go into real estate and then multifamily?
Yeah, I always liked real estate, right? You can touch it, you can see it. In college, I had some buddies that were doing leasing. I had some buddies that were doing triple net deals. When you're in brokerage, you don't make any money the first couple of years. So, especially commercial brokerage, it's long deal cycles, right? So, I'm from Nashville originally. I interviewed with Marcus and Millichap up in Chicago. And they're like, "Yeah, let's do it. Like, we can bring you on. You're not gonna make any money for 2 years." And then I pitched that to my parents who had like already gotten me through college, and they were we're not taking care of you anymore. So I came to the Marcus office here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I interviewed with our managing director, Jody Kevin. And he was like, "Well, hey, the apartment team just left. Do you want to do apartments?" So I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. I'll do anything. Just hire." So I kind of fell into it, and it's been great. Marcus Milch's been great. But that's kind of how. And then I don't know, leading up to getting, I guess, launched and training. Like I was just reading a bunch of books, and I was like, I really do like multifamily. I guess it's pretty interesting. It's a great asset class. So that's kind of how I kind of.
How did you go from, so you were born and raised, you went to college in Chicago?
No, I went to college, University of Illinois, actually. Okay. My dad, whole dad's side of the family is from Champaign, Illinois. But I'm from Nashville.
Okay.
Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every Easter, we'd be up in Champaign. And when it came to applying for colleges, I applied to University of Illinois, and they gave me a bunch of money to go there.
Or did you play a sport?
Scholarships.
Did you play a sport?
What is that?
Would you play a sport, or did you?
Well, no, just for like.
No, listen. God bless you. The only reason I went to college.
Plastic stuff, I guess. I guess that's the proper way to say it.
No, that's fabulous. So listen, I would have never gone to college if I didn't get a scholarship to play football. So
okay,
that's why I'm like, when you said they gave you money, I thought the only reason they gave people money is because they didn't know how to shoot a basketball or.
It's cheaper, so they made it a lot cheaper.
Are you a Chicago Bear fan?
No.
Oh, come on, I'm a Bear fan.
No, dude. I mean, the Bears are all right. Like, if I had a team that was like the third or fourth team, like, I'll watch them. But I'm a Titans fan.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, man, you got that stadium right there. All right, so you interview Marcus Millichap, the apartment team. Does that mean apartment multifamily, or does that mean apartment leasing? What is that?
No, just apartment multifamily. Right. We don't do any leasing. We're just investing sales. So just apartment brokerage, right? And we have an institutional team, and then we have a private clientele team. So I was partnered with some people on the private clientele team. Like, they didn't work out, so like now I run the private clientele, like $1 to $10, $1 to $15 million team.
Okay. Sorry. So you get trained. What does day one look like? Does Marcus Millichap just give you 300 leads? Like, how do you generate business? How do you meet people? Like, break it down to me.
Okay. We're going back. That was like 8 or 9 years ago.
So you're in the game almost 10 years then.
Yeah, I'm almost in years. So this is my 9th year. So how did it start? You showed up. They don't let you like hit the phones immediately, right? Like back then, I think it was like an 8 week or like a 16-week program. Like where like you're meeting and you're going on meetings with like senior brokers, but like you're doing like in-house training, like literally cold call pitches. Like, hey, ring, ring, ring. Like this is what we're working on. You're learning about underwriting. You're learning about like just like the basics of commercial real estate. Like, hey, say this, don't say this. You get in this situation. Like these are the situations you might encounter. So don't look like an ass. And that's really it. The they don't give you like a leads list, but like they teach you how to get leads. So like then you go out and you get your leads and like you say like you're like, hey, these are the most probable sellers, right? These are the most probable buyers. Call these people. So that's kind of how you start. But at first, like yeah, it's a trait. They just want to make sure you there's a brand, right? And they want to make sure you hold the brand. So they don't want to just sing you out there and just be like, good luck.
How do you survive in that game for 2 years without a paycheck? Like,
Well, for me, I think it was like 11 or 12. No, I think it was 13 months. Oh, I lived at my parents' house.
yeah.
They were supportive at that point. They're like, you can at least stay here, but we're not going to pay rent for another place. So I lived at my parents' house. And that's always like, that's like the biggest barrier to entry for like any broker is like, hey, because they're long deal cycles. Like even if I call you and you want to sell and then I go find a buyer, like that could be 6 months. Right. So like, even if you get super lucky on your first day, you're at least going 6 months without making any money. So and that's if you get super, super lucky, which most people don't get super, super lucky. So like I lived at my parents' house, grinded in the office like 6:30 every day in the morning, like 8 o'clock at night. Like that's what you got to do when you first start. That's what I told all the guys on my team, like when they first started.
Yeah, how many sets? Tell us, what does the team look like? Because I feel like when we met you guys, you had like an entourage. What does the team look like today? How many guys are working for you, and what are their different roles?
Yeah, so I got myself who like basically works Middle and East Tennessee. I got someone on my team that works East Tennessee and then Jackson, Tennessee. I got a guy on my team that does North Alabama and the state of Kentucky. And then I got a guy on my team that does mobile home parks, mainly in Tennessee. And then I got an analyst, full-time analyst. And like we kind of keep it lean, we keep it tight. Like I don't when you train it, I'm all about like training like some of the younger guys or gals that want to be in the brokerage. Like I did it at a young age. I listed my first deal when I was like 22, sold my first deal when I was 22. So like I know people can do it. So I'm all about like training young guys or gals when they get out of college and being like, hey, this is what you need to do. I guess this is how you be successful. So I'm actually the oldest guy on my team. I'm 30. Everyone else is like 28, 27, 29.
Why is everyone young in the multifamily space? Is it because once you get older, you move up to the institutional stuff? Like,
I don't know. Like, do you think like all the other brokers you talk to are young?
right? I feel like a lot of them. And I could just tell you. So my day job and where I built my wealth was residential brokerage, right? So today I'm still a residential broker. I'm proud to say I'm the number one real estate broker in Long Island, and that's for like 5 years on the resi side. And resi brokers is old. Like I was a young cat everywhere, and I'm 40, and I'm still like young compared to the resi brokers. So then when we flew to Tennessee 2 years ago and started knocking doors and trying to get meetings with the multifamily brokers, I felt like it was a really young group of individuals. So I didn't know if it was something to do with
I think like so. If you were to go knock on all the institutional shops doors, I think they'd be a lot older, a lot more gray hair. And then maybe that's it. Like you go from selling $2 million deals to $8 million deals to 15, and then like eventually you're doing institutional. That's like the, I guess, typical timeline. I think like what's different about what we've done is like we've never really instead of trying to get bigger deals, like we just tried to do more like $3 million deals.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like how we were like, you know what, it's cool. Like because I guess there's a stigma, like a lot of people don't want to sell $3, $4, $5 million deals.
Yeah, but that stuff, like Pat, that stuff moves. Like, so to me, like that's where you want to stay, because the sweet.
So I want to stay in that spot. So like we were just like, oh, let's just sell more. We'll try to pick a market where you just want to dominate the market. We want to sell, like our goal every year is like, let's sell $33.5 million deals. So like that's what we want to do. We just want to sell as many as we can, and it's funny. We'll go on a pitch and be like, yeah, we've sold 110 apartment buildings. Like, oh, that's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, but like it's only $300 million for real estate. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's $3 million deals. Like we sold $103 million.
Yeah, but that's why when you're pitching them, the person with the $2.5-3 million, like that's your niche, right? And say bringing in someone who's institutional, they don't even know how to get in touch with the right, lead source.
And like it's like, but like vice versa, we got to pitch on a $200 million deal or a $100 million deal. Like they're like, well, that's crazy. You sold 100 deals. Right. So it's like give or take, right? I like our space. It's fun. Yeah, you can do things like this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's a great space. Tell me, do you have more sellers coming in the front door or more buyers? Like, talk to me how that works. And are you guys actively looking for buyers, or you're really just looking for sellers? How does it work?
Both, right? I mean, like you got to find buyers. Like buyers, it's like anything. Like if you have a product, and people want that product, they're going to come to you. They're going to find you. So we got to go out and find the product. The product is listed multi-family deals. The product sellers. So like for us personally, if you want to go out, we find sellers. We buy sellers on, hey, this is where you need to be to get where your property needs to be. Like this is the pricing you want. And we advise them on pricing, like, and all that stuff. And then the buyers usually come. Like we go talk to buyers. Like we that's how we met you guys, right? Like you guys reached out to us. You said, hey, we closing on deals. Like, oh, yeah, absolutely. We want to meet everybody who's active in the market. But it's like, that's like any like economics thing. Like you want the product,
yeah,
and buyers will come to you.
Agree. So, 100%. How do you talk to me about how you guys analyze deals and give pricing? When you're meeting with a seller, most times are they saying, hey, Pat, I want, $85,000 a unit, or Pat, I want $3 million, or you're saying, let me see the T12. Like, how does that work? What does that cadence look like?
I said, they usually say this is what I want for price. And I'm like, that's cool. Like I care what you want for price, but like, I'm going to come up with a price. And like, sometimes it's the same, but a lot of times it's like way less. And like, we're like, hey, so usually it's, hey, can I get a T12? Can I get a rare roll? You have assumable debt. And then we're diving into it. Like we've probably got 20 small apartment buildings listed at any given time. So like it takes us an afternoon to be like, yeah, this is where it needs to be to transact. And then you present it to the seller. It's called a broker's opinion of value. So we do 300-400 of these a year where like we're putting together a BOV or a broker's opinion of value. And we're saying, hey, this is where the pricing is today. What are Mr. Seller, like, what are your thoughts on it? And sometimes they take our advice and they're like, yeah, that's the price. Like that makes sense. Like, let's go sell it. Sometimes they push back and we say, well, we'll work with you on it, but like, don't forget in 3 months if it doesn't sell, this is the price that we told you about. And so that's how you get. But like every seller comes to us with a number, but I don't want to say I don't care about their number, but like I care about what our numbers say, and then we go from there.
I always like to say this in my resi space. I'm always like, what's your expectation? I'm like, that's one conversation. And then what you want, that's a valid conversation, right? Like, yeah, you're allowed to say you want $10 million. And then there is what the market bears and what I'm telling you it's worth. And that's a valid conversation. You just can't put them together, right? So yeah, you could say, hey, I want 10 million.
They're barely ever the same.
Yeah.
They're barely ever the same. Everyone thinks their property's worth a lot more than what it's worth.
All right. So
buyer thinks it's like everyone thinks it is.
Yeah. No. You've been in the game almost 10 years. Tell me about the market when it was like rocket fuel. Like, I guess, was it during COVID where like you just throwing numbers up and these things were flying? Like, we only got into it 2 years ago when interest rates were 7. So tell me like what that market looked like.
It was easier, but it was harder. Like so to get the deal sold, like, yeah, it was easier. To get the listing, it was way harder. So because like you would go and you would pitch on a deal, and whatever broker pitched on the deal last and had the highest number would get the listing. And like there was no like advice. And like you could just, I mean, you could just throw stuff against the wall and like and make it make sense. And a buyer would ideally pay that price to a degree. Like, but I'm told the guys on my other than the guys on my team this as well. Like it doesn't matter what like where interest rates are or like where like sellers are always going to want something more than what their property's worth. Like we would pitch on deals and like we think your property's like a 4.5, it's like a 5 cap sale. I'm like, oh, well, I think it's a 3.5 or 4 cap. I'm like, okay, cool. Like you're always bridging expectations. Like no matter what you're doing, you're bridging expectations between a buyer and seller. So it's it was easier to get deals sold. Like the low probability deals would sell, but then again, it was harder to get the listings. So like right now, like I think is from our perspective, right? Like not from a buyer's perspective, but from like a brokerage perspective, I think it's a really good market to be in because like the sellers listen to your advice. They listen to people who have sold a lot of deals. Like they take your advice. They not try to sell it in 2023 and then they try to sell it in 2024 and they're like, hey, we're ready, just sell it. And it's like, this is what you got to do to sell it. This is where this is where the numbers going to be to get it sold. This is what we'll sell it for. So like it's good brokerage is rewarded right now. Really, really good brokerage.
What are you seeing? All right, we're at the end of 25, right? What are you seeing now, and what are you projecting heading into 26?
The market's gotten better since 2023, and I just look at it from the number of deals we've sold. So in 2023, we probably sold 17 or 18 deals. 2024, we sold 23 or 24 deals. 2025, we've sold 20 deals year to date. We're in mid-September, so we'll probably end up around like 28 to 30.
Especially because we're going to do a deal together, so we can put that.
Yeah, exactly. When you guys buy these, like that's gonna be another one. You have like 2. See, but yeah, 2026 will be better than 2025. Well, the longer interest rates just kind of stay where they're at, or like ideally they're gonna go down a little bit, but like. As long as interest rates kind of stay like where they're at or down a little bit, like 2026 will be better. So it's only getting better.
What are you seeing with the overflux of inventory in like Nashville? Is that affecting the secondary and tertiary markets a little bit, or not really?
It totally affects our deals. I mean, like it affects not so much like we're selling a 30 unit next to a 400 unit deal, and like it's totally different tenants that are living in our building compared to that building. It's not apples to apples, but like there is downward pressure on rents, right? Like there's a lot of concessions, like that impacts that's everything. It impacts us, but it's not like an apples to apples. Like we're not selling a 300 unit deal where the one next door just got built and they're giving out 2-3 months rent, and like so like we got to give out some money. Like it impacts our deals not nearly as much. Like I think our space we're more like recession resistant, right?
No, 100%. That's why I have a New York portfolio of about 20 properties, and I mine are all like B to B plus properties, and those are always fully occupied. We're not like we're in-ground pools. We don't have the gyms, but those people always need. A recession hits, and that's the assets we're buying in Tennessee. When the recession hits, I feel like people go into those, right? Property.
It's 300 units right next to you.
Yeah.
And your tenants probably aren't good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I always like to ask my guests, what else do you do besides real estate? Do you have any hobbies? Like what, are you married, kids, or like golf?
Oh, yeah, I was married. I got married in May. Going on our honeymoon in 2 weeks. Croatia.
Where you got to Croatia?
Yeah, well, Croatia.
You're gonna have a blast in Croatia.
I'm excited. We're gonna get some boats. Like it's gonna be fun. We're going to Bromeg, Split. I think tomorrow. I think that's how you say it.
How long all those hours work?
Yeah, we're rocking out Island Pop. Got 2 dogs, 2 cats. I'm a cat guy. I coach like middle school wrestling. I love doing that. That's fun.
What weight class did you wrestle at when you were wrestling?
Oh, 138.
Okay.
Yeah. I got second in the state. I was pretty good. I got second in the state. Yeah. I wrestled 138. I'm like 190 now. So like Way digger. But I was sucking back then. But I read a lot. Right? I read a lot of fiction. And that's really it, man. I worked out. How to do what a lot of people do. So.
Where'd you meet your wife or fiance?
At the bar.
Okay.
Reached us. Okay, at the bar.
And you
Sat down.
do you live in Nashville?
Yeah. There was a restaurant in my building. And I just went down there to get a burger one time. I knew some people she was sitting with, so I sat with them, and the rest is history.
That's fabulous. All right, let's get back. I always like to know a little bit about my guests on that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to real estate. So talk to me about the craziest deal in almost 10 years that you ever had that is always in your memory. Like, might have been the biggest check or might have been the biggest nightmare.
Oh, man. We had some going on right now that I don't think I can talk about. But ones that are actually closed, that are done.
And one thing I can always tell you is that as painful it is during the deal, once you get the check and you speak about it a month, 2 months, 6 months later, you're always like, it wasn't that bad. But when you're in the thick of it, you're like, this is just a disaster.
The biggest disaster, we were about to close on a deal, and it was a great piece of real estate. It's in Nashville. We were about to close on the deal, and like a week before closing, like we did like a final kind of walkthrough. Deal, and like we noticed like there were like a bunch of pins in the parking lot, and the parking lot was all straight, and it was a road, and then there was the parking lot, then there was the building, and like I was with the buyer, and the buyer's like, I think they're widening this road, like get rid of like half of my parking. I'm like, that's wild. Like I have no idea, but like we will get to the bottom of it, and we turns out I think they were widening the road, so the seller was, or I guess half the parking lot was going to go away by the time this buyer
was like eminent domain where the city was just taking the property.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The road was getting widened, and the tenants were parking there, and like it was 30 something units, and like there were probably 30 parking spots, and now they're going to be like, and that's what everybody drives. Now we're about to 20 parking spots. So like it was a big impact. Obviously, some sellers think that that's not a big impact. Like we were like, that's an impact. Like that's people like you can lease out anything, but if a tenant doesn't have a spot if the tenant doesn't have a parking spot, like your rent's going to be less. Like especially in Nashville, it's not in New York City or Boston or I know. So we had to get back on board for like 2 weeks, and then he finally got it closed. So
was he blaming you guys, or he was taking no ownership for it?
Who the
seller? Yeah, he probably should have selling. The seller should have gave you guys a heads up.
Didn't know. The seller said they didn't know. I'm gonna believe that. But like I don't know. It's closed, and buyers got a good deal. They got it a little bit cheaper, so it was warranted. Like it was warranted. That retrade was warranted. So, and that's what I always say about retrades. Like sometimes they're warranted, sometimes they're not, and like when we talk to sellers and we're like, hey, like this is like, it's always like, hey, this is what a buyer's asking off. And like, it used to be a retrades, like that's a terrible word. Don't talk about it. Like, and that was probably the biggest difference when the market was ripping is like, you even like said that word, like
no retrades.
Yeah. No retrades. Now it's like, if it's warranted, like part of a conversation.
I will say on my 2 Tennessee acquisitions, over 100 units, we have not retraded. And that's our goal is when we send you an LOI, we're going to do our best unless there's dead bodies in the basement. We're not going to retrade.
Yeah. See, there you go. I love to hear that.
And we even had an inspection, like a lot more of the air conditionings were at the end of their lives than were perceived to us. And me and Anthony sat down. We said, we could ask for 10, 15, 20 off, or we could just say, you know what, we don't retrade. At least so you know when you get one of our offers, like barring something crazy, that's the number.
What would you do if you lost half your parking lot?
I would retrade, without a doubt.
Yeah.
100%. Because at the end of the day, it's all about what I could rent out the property for. And you hit a nail on the head. If you're not able to provide parking, it's going to significantly hurt the asset.
Yeah, I agree.
Like really, a majority of my daily life is how do I increase rents across all of our portfolios, New York and Tennessee, right? Because that's my goal. So it's always like, all right, where can I add some value and where can I bring down expenses? And if you steal half my parking lot and I don't have money to put those lifts that can lift up and down, I'm gonna ask for a little bit off.
It wasn't a little bit, but yeah, it was warranted. So.
Yeah, it was I can appreciate that without a doubt. Are you speaking to more mom and pop sellers or is it more institutions? Like, talk to me about that and who's trading now opposed to who's trading, 4 or 5 years ago.
There's a lot of mom and pops. I mean, there's a lot of, yeah, I mean, institutions, like, I consider institutions like a REIT or like a private equity shop or like something like that. Like, right, if it's a joint venture or it's like a smaller syndication, I don't think you're like that mom and pop. I think you're a sophisticated seller, but like, I think it's a private clientele is really like how we break it up. It's like, is it 3 doctors, right? Like, they might be super sophisticated. They might have all their financials on that folio. Like, they might have a professional management company. That's still private clientele.
Okay.
We are working with some mom and pops. Those are always the best sellers, in my opinion. Like, those, they want to sell. Like, there's something, there's a reason that they want to sell. Like, sometimes it's profit. It's not always profit, though. Like, it's usually like a life change or like, something Marcus like teaches you, like, right when you start is like the 5 or 6 D's, and it's like debt, divorce, dissolution of partnership. I don't remember the other ones, but that happens, right? That's a day-to-day happens. Like, that's why when I said like the smaller apartment brokerage, a little bit more recession resistant, like even in 2023, like when the faucet turned off, like people are still getting divorced, people are still dying, people, like, it's the reality of life. So like they need to sell their asset, no matter what the interest rate environment is. Like, they're not going to wait 2, 3, 4 years to maximize value. Like, and especially if they bought it in like the 90s or mid 2000s, like it's already like quadrupled in price or 5x in price. Like, in our markets, at least, it makes sense for them to sell it.
Yeah. I always found it very interesting because in your space, it's mostly really just one broker in the deal, opposed to residential. I don't know. I'm sure Resi in Tennessee is that way, but Resi in New York, I would say 80% of the transactions that my brokerage does and my team does is dual broker. So explain to me why it's a little different in the multifamily space.
I think if it's like super institutional, there's always one broker, like 99% of the time. I think on our deals, it's probably 60, 40, 70, 30, one broker. So there's usually just us involved. But like, you work with outside agents, like, so like when we go to list a deal, like, it's our fiduciary right to bring all offers, keep the seller the highest price or the best terms for the best buyer. And like, if there's a buy side agent involved that's bringing a buyer, like, we're going to work with them, right? And we had that conversation with sellers on the front end. It's like, hey, it's just us. This is the fee. It's there's an outside agent. This is the fee, right? There's 2 different fees. So, and like you can do fees different ways, but like that's usually how it is. I think buyers like just don't direct to brokers because like they feel as though like they're getting maybe a better deal, or like you're talking direct to brokers.
Yeah, I like going direct to brokers just because I feel like you really know the deal, right?
Yeah.
Opposed to, even on my residential business, someone has a buyer's agent. They don't know anything about the property and they don't know anything about the area, the neighborhood. They can't speak about that subdivision like we could. So to me, I'm always partial, go right to the listing broker because they know the ins and outs of the entire situation.
They do. Yeah. The ins and outs of the deal story. You're talking directly to the owner. So like, there's like, we're not playing the whole game of telephone trying to get to like it's just buyer, us, seller, like, and it should be a streamlined process. So most people just come to us direct. I mean, again, sometimes there's a buy side agent, we'll work with them, but usually the buyers, like, especially right now, like, buyers are pretty sophisticated. Like, even in $2, $1, $3 million deals, like, buyers are still sophisticated. Like, they understand how to underwrite the deal. Like, they have some sort of training, or they're real estate people. Like, they get it. So,
what's the best way to, like, for someone to get your attention? right? So I'm sure your phone is ringing every day with buyers that want deals. I'm sure guys are emailing. Like, what would be the best way if somebody wanted to get into buying multifamily in Tennessee and wanted to get your attention? Like, how's the best way to do that?
So I would say like the best way is to send offers on our deals that are listed. And like, I don't care if it's close to the asking price and not close to the asking price, or and I tell everybody this because you're right. We get a million calls to like, hey, I want.
I'm a buyer, right? Like I always say, big hat, no cow, right? Everyone actually there, they could play this game.
Yeah, like they're like I'm a buyer. I want off market because everybody runs like, all right, well, I need you to find off market deals from mom and pop sellers that aren't sophisticated. Yeah, because I'm gonna steal the property.
That shit doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. So, but like where you do get the best deals is like, I'm like, hey, this is a deal we have listed. Like, where are you coming in at on your price? And like, they actually submit an offer. And like, I look at it, I'm like, okay, so like, that's kind of how their underwriting works. And then like, so when I'm out in the market, I'm working, like some of the best deals we've sold are from people like that I'm like, hey, I'm about to put this on the market. You submitted an offer on this one. This is the price you were at. This is the price we're at on this one. It makes sense. You want to buy it. Like, we'll sell it to you. Right. Like the one you guys recently submitted an offer on, right? Like it's kind of similar to that. Like it's like, hey, we know you submitted offers on other deals. We know what you're looking for. This makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And for us, that's a location play. We're just like, all right, yeah, even if it doesn't cash flow like a pig from day one, it's a great location play. It's not a huge deal, but when we're looking at our other assets, we'll stop by and say hi to it. It just, we got to move capital. It gets us into more into Tennessee.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Pat, I always like to ask my guests because this show is basically, we chop it up about multifamily, buy and hold real estate, passive income, generational wealth, the things I'm obsessed with. Do you have any real estate? Have you invested in real estate, or are you just listening, selling?
Yeah, I invest in some clients here and there. I always find it kind of like difficult. Like, yeah, it's like an LP, right? And it's never deals that we're a part of.
Yeah,
it's like I fiduciary, right? We represent the seller. Like I don't, even if it's the greatest deal ever, like, I'm not gonna put money into it from a buyer's perspective. But so I keep that like, I got like a broker hat on, and I got like a buyer hat on. Like,
no, I love that, but I also love a broker who also invests in real estate, right? Because I feel like how do you, I don't want to use the word trust, but how can you work with someone who isn't like invested in the asset that they're selling?
Yeah, I invest a decent amount in clients. Like as an LP, like I understand the deals, I understand what's going on. I think that's probably my next goal is to like get more on the GP side and more like just go out and like buy my own deals. But like, then again, it's like I probably couldn't do that in Tennessee,
right?
So I probably find it in state, and then I've done about a new state, and like, I mean, I could do it, but then just kind of biting the hand that feeds you. So like, this is something I'm playing right now.
Yeah. Well, I could just tell you somebody who's 10 years ahead of you in the, age wise. And the whole reason I got into the brokerage business was for one reason, to build stacks of capital, to invest in real estate, to build streams of income. So like, to me, the brokerage is like a front to see every deal, understand the deal, learn the deal, make capital. But at the end of the day, that capital has one use, to be invested into multifamily real estate. So like all the time I speak to people who own businesses, and I'm like, your business, not to be a dick, but like, I don't care about your business, but your business makes money. So take that money, invest it in real estate.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I invested.
Yeah, and listen, you could always go to the brokers. I just bought a 4-family in New York. You'll fall off the desk when I tell you I paid 1.1 for a 4-family in New York. But it was off market. It was through another broker. So it was fine. And he's like, he knows I buy in that area. He brought it to me. So I think you could still invest in the Tennessee, but like you have the greatest education. The greatest education is you've been selling hundreds of properties for almost a decade.
Yeah, probably right.
Dude, I'm fucking obsessed with this stuff. I can't get enough of it. And like, just seeing, I'm sure you saw it. Think about 8 years ago when you sold your first deal, a second deal, third deal, what that's worth today.
Oh yeah.
And you could not do like anything to the property. You could have literally just boarded it up and it's gone from value.
right? So isn't
Now
that
it gets crazy.
it's just insane. We're getting close to the end because I've been stealing almost an hour of your time. What are neighborhoods, areas, towns that New York people who watch this, YouTube show and podcast could start to look at, give us where they could find you, if it's an email, if it's a cell phone, if it's a website, like bring us home, land a ship for us. Where should we be?
Favorite markets that we are working. I love Knoxville, East Tennessee. Fundamentally, it's super strong. Chattanooga, we go Chattanooga. I mean, there's suburbs in Nashville. All of Nashville, right? Nashville, you might have a more supply issue than you would in East Tennessee, but probably the favorite market I'm working right now is Knoxville, East Tennessee, from the University of Tennessee. You can find me marcusmillichat.com. Just search my name, Patrick Cosgrove. All my contact information will come up. You'll be able to find me there. But East Tennessee it's a really good market.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're very, we're in Western, and we want to get, some things. No. Listen, I'm going to I'm going to be in town. I'm going to go see a Volunteers game.
Oh yeah, who are you seeing?
I'll need my kids here. We're flying out of New York October 31st, and the game is November 1st. I want to say they're playing, let's see. Would be Tennessee Volunteers November 1st.
Dan, I love technology.
Oh, it's it is I do love technology. I played Oklahoma City.
Go solo.
Yeah. A rank game, and I got this. I got the suspenders. So I'm bringing my two kids, which are 12 and 13, my nephews that are 22 and 25. I got everyone's suspenders, and we're gonna come in now.
The checkerboard.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, dude. Yeah. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She's like, those are only. She's like, those are only for sorority girls or sorority guys. I'm like, nah, that's for us.
Nah, it is for us.
Yeah. Listen, Pat, I want to thank you so much for carving out a little bit of time, dude. You're crushing the game. I'm watching. I'm seeing everything. The way we found you the first time was one of my analysts literally go through the sales in Tennessee, between 1 million and 3 million, and you're like the top of the list. So I just want to congratulate you on that. And I really, want to build a friendship and a relationship, and we want to do deals, help you make some money, and help us build, a larger portfolio in Tennessee. So thank you.
Let's do it. Thanks to you guys for having me on.
We appreciate it. Awesome. Cool.